Corporate and Pyramid Valley International welcome you all to day 215 of Stillness Beat, your daily dose of meditation and wisdom. So, friends, as usual, let's begin today's session with meditation. I invite Master Sharath to guide us into today's meditation. Good morning, Sharath.
Hi, Shirisha. Good morning. Hope my audio is okay. All right. So please settle down. Take 12 seconds time to be in silence and quietly settle down. Now, before closing your eyes, the steps are very simple, right? So it's a Ana-Pana-Sati meditation, being with the breath. Steps are very simple. Sit in comfortable posture, clasp your fingers, cross your feet, close your eyes, and be with your natural breath. Now, before closing your eyes, scan your surroundings. We are so identified with body, mind, and the surroundings. Let's observe that. Bring into awareness whatever it is. Relax your body. Slowly close your eyes. Now scan your body from head to toe. For any pain, any discomfort, any sensations. Let that be in the awareness. Now drop your identity. You are identified by name. Drop it. Relax. Bring your attention focus to ongoing breath. Don't change the breath. Just be with the breath. As long as you are with the breath, that is the real you, the self. When you go out, into your thoughts or anything that is your name, your ego. Cut the external things. Relax. Come back to breath, your real self. Be your real self, masters. Be with the breath. Don't go outside. Cut them. Don't analyze. Don't expect. Be with the breath. Be with your real self. Be very intense, sincere. Be with the breath, not with your name or thoughts. Be like this, observing your breath for the next 12 minutes. Be with the breath masters. The real you. Relax. Be with your breath, masters. The breath changes the form, but you be with the real you. Relax. Continue. Masters, we are at the right place and moment, so deep with ourselves, we can heal ourselves and the world around us. Let's do it. Mentally repeat the following affirmations. It is about taking responsibility. At your heart chakra, Anahata chakra, I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Let's make agreement with life. Sincerely say to yourself, I will be impeccable with my words. I will not take anything personally. I will not make any assumptions. I will do my best at all the times. Be in this absorption, in this state for a few more minutes, Masters. One more minute. Thirty seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your palms together. Keep it on your closed eyelids and slowly open your eyes. So, masters, one more minute. So, let's do like this every day this week. When you open your eyes, that is your eye. You're not on your breath. I, right? This I is associated with your name, fame, all the thoughts you're doing, all the work you're doing. That is your I. But when you close your eyes and be with the breath, that is me. So let's distinguish me and I. I is this self, this body, this name, fame. Me is when you close your eyes on your breath, that is your real self. So we have taken many I's, many names, right? But in this life, we only associated with this I, this name, this fame. So what we are trying to do, we are trying to bring it down, this I, go to your me and be there. Whenever thought comes, that is your I, that is your thought. Whenever something happens on your body, that is I. Look at that, come back to your real self. As long as you are with the breath, with closed eyes, you are with yourself. When you practice to be more with your see, your me, right? That is when you will also know you have taken so many eyes. You have taken so many births. But in this life, you are associated with this name and fame. But you have to be with your breath to know it, right? Patiently. Once you see all your births, then you move forward. That's how it is. Okay. Thank you so much for meditating with me. Over to you, Sirisha.
Thank you, Sharat, for that wonderful meditation. Thank you so much. So, friends, let's move on to the next part of the session, wisdom sharing. So, I invite Prithvi to share today's wisdom. Good morning, Prithvi.
Good evening, Sirisha. Thank you. Thank you, Sharat, and thank you all for meditating. So we have stepped into the second phase of that 108 thing that we had talked about, and last week we had changes, and we got to hear a lot of new words like channeling, ESP, intuition, telepathy. So this is the right time for all of us to actually get into these topics, because now we have meditated for 200 plus days. And like Sharath was mentioning, we have to now focus on activating the third eye. So this week, we are going to talk about ESP, which means extrasensory perception, which is also intuition or the sixth sense. Um, Last week, Sam was talking about Seth wisdom, in which he said that, first of all, we need to go beyond belief to reprogram our limiting beliefs and then correct the limiting beliefs. So, to go beyond beliefs, meditation is the only way. So, you have to, you're not supposed to alter the technique of meditation that you're doing. You should always keep this techniques that we are going to talk about in this full week separate from meditation. So don't add or don't try to adulterate the awareness of breath and the observation of breath with anything else. We have to go beyond beliefs. Only then we will be able to correct the limiting beliefs. So there are techniques to correct the limiting beliefs and train our intuition, the sixth sense, and use the ESP. Those are different techniques which you have to do it at a different time, after meditation or before meditation, or at a different time in itself totally. But don't mix it with meditation. Meditation is always observation with breath. So have this clarity. This is the main disclaimer that I'm going to give for the entire week. And we will be learning a lot of techniques this week. Silva UltraMind ESP techniques, because this is the first thing that I got trained. I did rigorous workshops in Bangalore and different cities, and I used to do a 2-day workshop. So all the techniques, secrets that I used to do it in paid workshops, I'll be giving it out in this week. So don't miss out. If anybody is interested or would make best out of these sessions, please ask them to join. These will help you to reprogram your subconscious mind, first thing. And secondly, tune into your intuition. Train your sixth sense. Jose Silva always told that back then when he was researching on all of these subjects, the ESP system or the sixth sense, people claimed it to be gifted to only few people. But Jose Silva didn't agree upon it. He said each one of us can train our mind to get into the sixth sense, to develop the sixth sense with projections, with certain exercises. He experimented it for 22 years. He researched about it and he came up with a method and he gave the techniques. And a lot of people got the results and they could tap into their intuition, get into the right state of mental frequency, brain frequency, and tap into their intuition, and got, in fact, a lot of authors, scientists, sportsmen, they could tune into intuition and get the information and get the higher guidance from their own higher intelligence through these techniques. A lot of authors like Shakti Gawai and a lot of authors got their titles, the main abstract of the book they wanted to write through this technique. So it's a very powerful technique. It's kind of quick relaxation, quickly tapping into the alpha and theta states, and a lot of things that we are going to explore this week. So firstly, today I want to talk about the man who came up with this technique. His life story is very, very inspiring, friends. So let's see how Jose Silva came up with this method. So actually he researched for 22 years And while he was researching, he came up with Silva method, Silva mind training, and in the final year, he gave this UltraMind. In this Silva method, there are so many, like more than 50 plus techniques he used to teach. But he thought that people were getting confused. And finally, in the last part of his research, he gave this UltraMind ESP system. And he said, if you practice these techniques, he gave only 4 or 5 techniques. And he said, if you can practice these techniques, you will be able to tap into intuition. You can develop your ESP system. So, who this man was? In actually, Jose Silva, he was born in 1914 in Texas in a very poor family. He lost his father at the age of 4 itself, and his mother got married immediately. So he had, like, after few years, his mother got married. So he had one older sister and one younger brother, and he had to move with his grandmother. And very quickly, he became the bread earner of the family. He couldn't go to the school. The family was not able to take care of everybody. So he started to work at the age of 6. And by the age of 9, he started selling newspapers, and he used to polish the shoes. And in the evening times, he would sit with his sister, elder sister, and younger brother. He used to work in the morning times, get the money, and make his sister and brother go to school. So he was earning money to give education to his brother and sister. And in the evening time, he would sit with his brother and sister and learn how to read, how to write from them. So that's how he got trained how to read and write. He never went to school. And then once what happened was he went to a barber shop. And in that barber shop, he had to wait for his turn. And while he was waiting, there were a pile of books kept in the barber shop. So he finds one book very interesting and he picks up that book. And that book was actually a course book on how to repair the radio. So he got so interested, and it was fascinating for him. And he wanted to read the complete book. It was a very fat book. He wanted to read the complete book. So he asked the barber, can I borrow this book? Because I feel I want to read this book completely. And the barber there, he gives this book on one condition. He says that, okay, I will give you this book, but I have a condition. You will have to read this book completely and write the examination in my name. I have taken up a diploma in repairing the radio. So I need a certificate, but I am not able to read this book. You read this book and write the examination in my name. Jose Silva agrees to it. He reads the complete book, the complete course material. He goes through it, he reads it, he writes the exam in the name of Barber, and Barber gets the certificate. So barber will put his certificate, he'll hang it in his shop. But Jose Silva had by now got the skill of repairing the radio. Now, what he does is he starts a shop in Texas to repair the radio. Back then, it was all radio, right? So it was a very flourishing business back then. So by the age of 15, he started a business of repairing radio. It flourished so well in the entire city. His business was the highest one, which was repairing the radios. He earned so much of money through this business that he could completely, sponsor and help his sister and brother to get the complete education. He got married. He had 3 to 4 kids by now, and then he was getting curious about topics like hypnosis, telepathy, and brain waves. By then, these brain waves was discovered, the different alpha, beta, theta. They had got discovered. So he got intrigued into it. And once what happened, since he had got so much, well versed with repairing radios, he was invited to colleges to give lectures on how to repair the radio and on the electronics. A man who never went to college, who never went to school, got proper education, he was going to colleges to teach electronics, to actually develop the electronics laboratory. And finally, he was chosen to design certain electronics in the World War II. It was the time then, back then, the World War II was happening. So he was called to design certain electronics for the war and all. And there he meets one person who was a psychiatrist. And this person was asking some questions to these soldiers, and she was training these soldiers with a mental telepathy, and they were able to, project their mind and find where those submarines are there in the war field and all. So just with their ESP, with their mind intuitions, they were able to tap into and get the information. So this fascinated this man a lot. So he got so intrigued into it, and he starts reading about it. He starts experimenting with it and all. And he by now understood that a machine can be tuned, a radio can be tuned into the right frequency, and we can get the good quality music when we tune into the right frequency in the radio. Maybe our brain is also like a machine, like a radio. If we tune the brain to the right frequency, it'll perform more efficiently. If there is least resistance in the circuit, it'll grab more energy and it'll perform in a better way. As a radio mechanist, he was understanding and relating it to the brain. And he was so much right. He wrote this concept to Hans Berger, who had discovered the brain frequencies and all, and they met and they had so much discussions and they got into research. And finally, what happened was he now wanted to see if he could train people to get into right frequency of brain or not. So while he was studying all these things, what happened was he by now had at least 4 or 5 kids. Actually, he had 10 kids in his lifetime. But by the time he had 4 or 5 kids, he was observing that his kids were not doing great in school. Their grades were very low. So now he wanted to train them in mind. He thought maybe if I train them with hypnosis and all of these things, their IQ might improve. Thinking this, he started training them in hypnosis. But in hypnosis, he understood that it cannot be independent. And once a person gets into theta, they are not aware. They get into a sleep state and unconscious state. So they cannot use alpha and theta state with awareness if they are in hypnosis. So now he wanted to experiment, can people get into alpha and theta with awareness and use the state for their more performance, like use the state for making better decisions, connecting with their intuition and solving problems. Can they do that? He wanted to experiment. So he started experimenting with his kids. He did it for 3 years and he saw that his kids started to perform so well in the school. They started to get good grades, and their neighbors or observing that Silva was doing some training to his kids and they were doing great in the school. Now, all the neighbor kids, their parents started to approach Silva and they said, "Can you please train our kid also to uh, get into that right frequency and tune into ESP and make them perform better in their school?" So by now he had discovered that we can tap into alpha and theta. He wrote this to Dr. J.B. Ryan. J.B. Ryan was a scientist in Duke University. J.B. Ryan said that maybe your kids are already, they are born with psychic abilities. That is why they are able to do this. But one day, what happens is Silva was um, training his kid, his daughter, and he was forming questions in his mind and asking that question to the kid. And the kid was answering. While she was answering, the Silva used to think about what should be the next question. Even before he asked the next question, his daughter started to answer to that question. And he was thinking the next question, she started to answer it. He didn't ask, he was just thinking about it. But his daughter could already sense the information and give the answer. This was so astonishing to Silva. Now he understood that we can project our mind and get the information from any kind of matter, animate, inanimate, or even from other people's mind. We can get the information, we can train our mind to get the information from anywhere from the cosmos. So this made his research so interesting that he developed this into a program. He said now he started using this for deep relaxation, to sharpen the intuition, for fast learning, for memory, for emotional balance, and to expand our ESP system, which means he said there is a higher guidance, a higher intelligence, our own higher intelligence, which we can ask for guidance, for information, and we can be available to these informations if we have he gives a disclaimer to this also. You can be available, or the guidance will be available to you only if he puts certain conditions, which we will talk about in the further sessions. And he says we can use this intuition to make better decisions, to solve problems more creatively, and to connect with our purpose of life, to understand why we were sent to this planet and what we are supposed to do, and to do it more successfully. You can use these states, alpha and theta states. So these were the core teaching of Jose Silva. He said the mind is not a mystery to be feared. It is a tool to be understood, to be trained and used for the benefit of all. And with this thing, he said, we are going to develop our ESP, our sixth sense, which each one of us are having, and we will use it for the betterment of the condition on the planet. So he has given this alpha state meditation. There are mental screen visualization, mental video technique, and dynamic reprogramming, mental reprogramming techniques, and ethical use of mental power. He gives golden rules to use these techniques. Only if we follow those golden rules, these techniques are going to work. So we will explore each of these techniques throughout the week. And finally, he said that the greatest invention you will ever learn to operate is your own mind. So, uh, all the thought that comes is through the mind. Every invention has happened through the mind, but your mind itself is the greatest invention. And you need to learn how to use your mind more efficiently. You need to train your mind. And if you can train your mind, you can do miracles in life. So he said the mind needs to be trained and used only if you have an intention to make the condition on this planet a better place. If you can turn this planet into a paradise, your guidance, your higher intelligence, everything is going to support you. So we will explore all of these topics, techniques, ESP, mental telepathy, all of it in this week, friends. So this is actually a paid workshop that we are going to be sharing it freely this week. So we will be doing 5 to 10 minutes of techniques after understanding the technique. So keep these techniques separate from meditation. I'm saying it again and again. Okay. So from tomorrow onwards, we will have a 5 minutes extension to the session. We will learn the techniques and we will explore it. So for today, this is it. So thank you. Thank you so much. Over to you, Sirisha.
So before it goes to Sirisha, right? To Prithvi's point, because this is a very powerful method. I've been in the session, right, Prithvi, in one of the sessions you've taken. So remember, I'm not going to reduce the meditation time. So there is certain other things for the participants, right? 45 minutes will be there, and this week there will be a different way of getting into serious meditation, right? That's what we're going to do. So hope this method, Silva method, and the method I'm going to use, Ana-Pana-Sati will be the same, right? Nothing will change. Is going to take to a different level, right? Thanks so much. Over to you, Sirisha.
Thank you. Thank you, Sharath, and thank you, Prithvi. Yes, so I hope, I'm sure that we are all very much excited to understand the Silva method, and we are looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Prithvi, for that. So thank you, friends, for joining us, and please join us tomorrow at the same time. So until then, have a great day ahead. Bye bye, friends. Thank you so much.